Oh yeah, welcome to Typical Tangents. Usually no, we have to play the intro. It's just part of the ritual. I just can't go, dude. I wonder if Chris can still join if he wants. Be nice to have his opinion on
Oh,
things.
you mean like join our call? That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean he could hop in any time if he wanted to. Like everyone in that chat could. It would have been
Oh, okay,
dope,
cool.
but I know he
Let me
just
add them real quick.
yeah he came back from Yosemite, so
They're back already?
I think
Oh,
so.
snap.
Um, I don't know actually. I don't know.
Let me know when we've like started the segment.
Okay. Oh yeah. I'm low key. I'm just trying to find the intro.
Okay.
Okay, we found the intro. I always choose like the wrong video. Sorry about this. I feel so unprepared, even though I had all the time.
It's all good. I'm
But I
not really
just
doing much anyway. I do have to like sleep early though, so
yeah, it's just
but
gonna
like
be an hour, I think. So
yeah, no problem. Like early for me is like 12, so
oh okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well. Okay. Yeah, that's the intro. Yeah. So before you explain yourself and before I leak all my information, dude, I wish I had another person here just helping me out. But
With like the production
yeah, the
stuff.
production side. Like I have a moderator that like works for the chat, but the production side it's just a lot of point and clicking. But it's like I want it like seamless, you know? But uh
Yeah. Yeah, I can't help you there. I've never like streamed before.
no, it's fine. It's you're a guest. You're don't worry about it. Okay, let me they say anything?
uh,
Yeah, dude,
Joe
I'm too
just
scared.
said he just got back and he has to clean up and get ready for tomorrow.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
maybe Chris will join. It seems like if he's home, he probably won't be doing anything, but he's probably tired, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they just drove like to Yosemite. That's insane.
Dude, I know. That's like 3 hours there. Like, what time did they leave?
I don't know, but hopefully they probably left early in the morning or something.
Yeah. I didn't know Yosemite was like that close to you guys.
Huh?
I didn't know you guys were that close to Yosemite.
I
Like, because for me, it takes me like, I don't know, like 5, maybe more hours.
uh-huh.
But for you guys, it's only like 3.
Yeah, it's like going to Tahoe or something. But
Oh, nice.
it's because it's like directly east, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna share my you're gonna be on my stream now, so I'm just gonna share my screen real quick. And yeah, you popped up. I'm just gonna move myself over to the right. Um, make myself a little bigger. Okay, yeah, go ahead and go introduce yourself. How you know me, and if you have any fun facts, stuff like that.
Hello, Internet. I'm Vivian. I'm a product engineer, and I met John at UC Davis maybe like 3 years ago, something like that. And that's where we both graduated from. So, yeah. And oh, a little fun fact about me. I just found out my dog is 2 years older than I thought she was.
Okay.
So that makes her 18. So she's like a super senior.
Yeah. So yeah, damn, your dog's pretty old. 18. Oh my gosh.
I
Wait, your dog's
know.
actually pretty old. Like, did you get it when you were
Yeah.
5?
Huh? Yeah, I guess so. Like, um, I must have, my parents said I got her when I was about like 6, around that age. So, yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I got her when I was like 8 or around then, but apparently I got her a little like before that. So, but she's still like healthy, still like walking pretty well, not too bad for an 18-year-old.
18
She's
year
an
olds.
actual
I think
like an
18 year
adult,
old is like an achievement, to be honest.
right?
Like I don't know a lot of dogs that are 18, to be honest. Like that's pretty
Yeah.
impressive. Props to your
Yeah,
dog.
I know. I'm impressed too.
Well, so today's topic we'll be talking about Asian American, just Asian Americans in general, and maybe we'll get a little deep into it. Last week we covered the same segment, but we were just talking about hate crimes in general. But as um on our panel last week, we didn't really have like a woman on our board, so I kind of want like a perspective, a different perspective,
Hmm.
because
Yeah, for sure.
as much and as Asian I am, as like how Asian I am, it's not like I can never relate to like a woman's perspective because oftentimes there's a stigma. Women, especially with Asian women, often at time it's like either symbolized as like a sexual thing, an object, which is very disappointing because I know a lot of impressive Asian women like you for an example. So it's stuff like that. Also it's like what stereotypes of being like submissive, docile. I don't know how to pronounce the word, but stuff like that. I want if you have any like very so my question is that like how do you feel about what happened recently? Especially not with the most recent shooting in Atlanta, and how do you feel as an Asian American woman? How do you feel in that? What's your opinion about it, basically?
Um, do you mean specifically about the Atlanta shooting?
Yeah, specifically about that, and then eventually, just as yourself, or just in your like, what's like the struggles that you carry every day that people may not notice because people just label you in that certain category and stuff. Um, yeah, just like that. I don't know. Just elaborate. These questions are coming top of my head, so I can only ask so well. But yeah, just I guess yeah, just take the floor.
Um, well, the Atlanta shootings were actually really scary for me because I have family in Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
and I just have one cousin, and his parents are there, and my aunt, um, she is actually like a nail tech,
Oh
and
wow.
when the articles first came out, it just said like spa, like it didn't really say like what kind of spa, like I didn't know it was a massage parlor at the time, and I'm not exactly sure where my aunt works and like what type of like salon she's at. So I was like really worried because I like read the headlines and then I was like, oh my gosh, this could literally be my family.
Yeah.
And even if it's not, like, thank goodness it wasn't.
Yeah.
And they were all safe, but it was actually pretty close to them. Like, I think it was like maybe 30 minutes away from them.
Damn.
So yeah, this really could have been like my family. And even like with like not only that incident, but like other incidents that have been happening recently.
Mm-hmm.
Just like going around in like the LA area because that's where I'm from. I'm like super close to like downtown. I'm like maybe 15 minutes out,
Yeah.
and especially like seeing these like articles about like Asian hate in like these super condensed areas like San Francisco and like LA and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it could happen to me, and it's like it could happen like not only to me but like to my grandpa, which I'm like most worried about. I
Yeah.
mean, he doesn't go out, but like if he were to, like, it's really dangerous. And like just like my elderly family, it's just like kind of scary to be like living at this time.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I yeah,
yeah.
I find it very crazy that even my parents, I find it very scary for them to walk out because they're just doing. My dad, he works in the cabinet business, and he's just like he walks around neighborhoods because he works in different neighborhoods because he's installing cabinets and stuff. And I was just like, oh, I'm kind of scared. Like one day, someone just comes up to him, and just like punches him for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah, and like the weird part is like you don't even know like why they do it.
Yeah,
Like it's these like attacks are just kind of like coming out of nowhere, you know? Like there was no reasoning. Like the victims never really the victims never like started anything to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's like, why are people attacking other people like randomly? It just like doesn't make any sense to me. And it's like honestly kind of hard to believe because it's like how could you do that to like someone who could be your own relative, you know?
Yeah.
Like they may not look like you, but I'm sure people like these attackers have um people who they care about who like are similar, you know, like
Yeah.
similar in age,
Hmm.
similar in like I don't know, however. But yeah, I just for me like it's just really hard to understand. So
Yeah, it's just like I don't go up to like random old white people and start punching them because that's just weird, and also that's just very violent. I could never understand like what goes through their mindset. Like person with like no relation, you just see walking down the street, just go up to them, like mug them or beat them up, and I don't know what their end goal is because you just traded off like a 10-minute exchange to someone you don't know for probably like 10 years in jail or something. So yeah, it's very interesting, very upsetting. So moving on to the next question. So yeah, as like I said, as an Asian American woman, um, what kind of struggles do you face, or like obstacles you face that like not the average person would know about? Is there any? I know this is like a pretty loaded question, but you can take your time and answer it. And if you can't answer it, just let me know.
well, honestly, when you ask that question, it kind of reminds me of like college,
Hmm.
like when I was a student, I was a computer science student at UC Davis, and it was like it was pretty competitive, I would say.
Yeah.
And like I think being like an Asian girl, even though like UC Davis has like a large population of like Asian students,
Yeah.
um, I still felt like an outcast, I would
Okay.
say. Yeah, I think like people kind of expected less from me.
Oh,
Like they
okay.
kind of um yeah, I mean, I felt like people didn't want to be like my partner for projects or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's either like they no one wanted to be my partner or like a few people wanted to be my partner just because they thought I was cute, and that was like really weird. And there's
Oh,
actually this
okay.
incident
Uh
that I
huh.
think like you were there for. Not like there, but like I like told you and our friends like as it was happening.
Uh huh.
I met this like kind of weird guy who like asked to be my partner. And at first it was like, oh, all right, like this guy seems fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I just ended up partnering with him because we kind of like exchanged notes. And I was like, all right, you seem kind of like, um, we seem like we could be a good match for partners. And I was like, all right, sure. And then like it started getting super weird. Like later on, he kind of confessed that he only asked to be partners with me just because he thought I was cute. And that was like kind of insulting. Like
Okay.
it was super insulting that he like I don't know, I just kind of felt like used, you know?
Yeah.
And I had told him that I had a boyfriend too, and despite that, he still tried to like unknowingly. I feel like he um tried to keep me around for reasons that he kind of kept a secret, you
Yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like I kind of just like felt used, and at the end of the project, he didn't even like end up contributing that much. So there's like a few like there were a few incidents similar to that where I felt like people or like peers kind of had this perception of me
Mm-hmm.
even though I didn't like even do anything to depict that perception, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of just saw me in this light that I didn't like create and I didn't like choose to like be seen as. I was pretty like quiet, honestly, and I just kind of kept it to myself. I didn't really bother anyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, for some reason, I feel like people kind of had this perception of me that I don't know, I couldn't change.
Couldn't change. Can you elaborate on that? Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean couldn't change?
Yeah, I don't know. I think like as I like gained more friends
Mm-hmm.
throughout like and I got to know like more peers, I kind of like I was almost afraid to like be who I really am and like kind of show more of my personality because like even if I did show a little bit more of my personality,
Yeah.
I felt like they didn't expect it from me. Like they didn't
Okay.
expect that type of personality from me and then like they looked at me like I was weird for like being a certain way, you know?
Yeah.
Like they just like I I feel like people were thrown off by like after getting to know me for a little bit better and just like me not fitting their initial impression of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you basically like prove them wrong, and they're like, dude, this is not what I came for. This is not who I thought I wanted to be friends with.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
it's like they were kind of like disappointed that they were wrong about my personality
Uh huh.
and it seemed like they kind of wanted me to um fit into that like perception that they thought I was, you know.
Okay. So what I taking away like what I can like what I understand is that they had an expectation um for you as a person, as I don't know what they were gonna label you, as a friend, as someone they know, and they expected this out of you, but you weren't this person. You're not your typical person that follows people's expectations around. You have your own standards. Luckily you're not, you don't you don't like, luckily you're not, are you still friends with these people, or like
Not really. I would say more like acquaintances.
uh-huh.
I like kind of I haven't really like kept in touch with like a lot of my peers, but I like just kind of like keep up with them like on Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't really use Instagram that much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't really talk to them.
That's good. Obviously, like after college, it's often hard to keep in touch with like people you thought you knew, but you realize they weren't really the people that you expect them to be. I mean, it happens, but the fact that like I don't know, they forced you into an expectation, wanted you to do this and that, but you weren't for it. I mean, it takes a lot, to be honest, because I think there's times when like peer pressure comes in, and it labels you as a person. Either I wouldn't say like it's like a binary choice or anything. Either you're like a follower or a leader, but you're just your own type of person. And luckily for you to realize that like you're that type of person, and you stand for yourself. That's good. Um, I don't know. I just find it like annoying too when people expect certain things from you, and you're just like, oh, I just want to do my own thing. I guess it comes like being slightly introverted as well, right? You kind of don't want to be bothered in that sense, and you just want to just have your own time. But
Yeah.
so so like, okay, well, I'm catching blanks on questions now, but you know, um, so moving into okay, I guess we're done with the Asian American segment, or just being labeled as a person. Since you're from SoCal, right? How's the food down there, and what do you say? Because I'm a huge foodie myself, as you noticed. I did recently do a boba stream, just like an hour and 30 minutes ago, and I've been doing like a boba tier list, basically a boba tournament like every week. So far I've been spending like $20 every week, commuting for like an hour or two, just driving around, just getting boba, and then just going back home, storing it in the fridge, and just wait till the stream to start up, and then drink it on stream, and then realize I'm lactose and I can't drink this, and I just regret it in the morning, but I just do it for the stream. But yeah, in your opinion, what's the best boba spot in SoCal? I'll just give you that, or just give me a top five. That's fine.
Hmm. I don't know. I kind of go to different places for different drinks, you know?
Uh huh.
Um, well, I've been thinking about Bopomofo a lot. You know, that like
Oh, the Wong Fu
cafe
place,
by,
right?
yeah, yeah. I've been kind of like craving that for a little bit. That's definitely, I would say, like one of my top fives,
Yeah.
just because it's really unique
Uh huh.
and they have like super unique drinks and that actually like taste good. You know, like it works. And it's just like I like it, but it's expensive, but I think it's kind of worth it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's one of my top fives. For milk teas, I would say, hmm. Oh, I really like it's called Tea Station.
Tea station.
Yeah.
Never heard
Um,
of it actually.
yeah, I think it's more of like a 66 SGD type of thing. I actually like met the um the owner before.
Yeah.
Like he's the son of the owners.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's super nice and he kind of introduced me to that chain and I actually ended up really liking it and it's definitely like my top milk tea.
Like number one for sure. Like by a huge margin, or is it just like why is it number one though? Like why is it like your top? I wouldn't say I don't know if it's your top, but yeah,
Uh,
just
well, I really like it cuz yeah, honestly, I can't pick a favorite, but it's definitely one of my top 3 places for milk teas specifically.
mm-hmm.
But I like it a lot because it has a stronger tea flavor than it does milk.
Okay,
Most
yeah.
places, yeah, most places that I get like usually I'll get like a jasmine green milk tea, something along those lines.
Yeah.
But a lot of places that I go to that I've tried um, have a stronger milk flavor, which I feel like is a little too much. Like I feel like it's a little overpowering, and I prefer to like taste the actual tea
Mm-hmm.
more than I do the milk. And their boba is pretty solid, so yeah, that's why it's like one of my top 3 for milk teas. And I go to other places for like fruit teas though. For fruit teas, we have this place called Tea Brick, which is pretty good. But I don't know if it'd be my favorite.
Uh,
I actually like,
okay.
yeah, I just like thought of it because it's like closest to me, and
Uh-huh.
their fruit teas are pretty good. Um, but for fruit teas, I think I'll have to go with. I'm kind of blanking on the name. I don't know. I kind of forgot the name.
That's
It's
fine.
like a green logo, and um, they do for similar reasons why I like Tea Station.
Uh-huh.
They I like their fruit teas for a similar reason because I can taste the tea and I can taste the fruit flavor. So
That's pretty
yeah,
solid actually. Yeah, that sounds good. I think
yeah.
that's
I
like
hope.
similar to my like what I'm looking for like I'm currently I'm just kind of doing San Jose in my area, and like what I'm
Mm,
looking for is just like, oh, if there's actual tea flavor instead of just like sweet milk, because like I mean chocolate milk and stuff and sweet milk like that tastes good. Like I'm not gonna lie, it tastes great, but it's just like, oh, this is a milk tea. It's just not like a milk tournament. So I'm just like, okay, I'm not trying to drink milk all the time. So it's just I'm looking for tea. I'm looking for something
yeah,
that stands out, tastes profound, and tastes good. So yeah, keep
yeah.
going.
I think like what makes milk tea so good is if it like you can taste the tea.
Mm-hmm.
If like it has to have a good balance of like the tea and the milk, and if the boba is on point. So the boba is like a huge factor of obviously. But yeah, I prefer honey boba, but all of the places that I mentioned have pretty solid boba.
Okay. So you mentioned Bopo Mofo, the Wong Fu place. Have you met?
Mhm.
You actually meet any people from Wong Fu there, or you just like is Phil there like usually, or is it just?
He's
Oh,
there pretty often, actually.
okay.
He's not just like the like face of it, you know.
Uh-huh.
He actually goes there and like he kind of helps out and like serves people, I believe. But I have not seen him for myself. But apparently I've like passed him around like around town before,
Oh wow.
but
He lives near you or what?
I'm not sure. But there was one time I was at a cafe with my cousin, and
Mm-hmm.
then like after we left, she was like, "Oh, that guy from Wong Fu was there," and I was like, "What? Why didn't you tell me? I would have wanted to talk to him."
It's like, take a picture,
But
please.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, he was probably busy. He was like probably working on something, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
probably like filming a
but
skit. I don't know.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But my boyfriend um ran into Phil before, or he saw him at Bokomofo one time. He was there. So, yeah, I haven't seen him for my own eyes, but I
That's
hear he's
pretty.
there a lot.
That's pretty
Oh,
cool.
you know what's funny?
Uh huh.
I was looking at the Bokomofo Yelp page,
Yeah.
and here, maybe I should show you if that's a thing.
Yeah.
So,
You just show it through your like
okay,
camera. That's fine.
okay, because I thought this was super funny. On their Yelp page, under popular dishes,
Yeah.
it says Philip Wang because people mention his name so often that
What the
he's
heck?
like
Oh,
highlighted as a popular dish.
wait. What? That's
Yeah,
actually hella
I
true.
thought that was so funny.
Dude, they just show it's just a bunch of pictures of the people with him. That's actually pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so there's
Top
like,
dish is Philip Wang. Holy crud.
yeah,
Yeah, that
and
guy.
there's just like people and like pictures of him.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
strangers again too. Yeah, yeah. Chris, you want to join in on this or not? But I see you're on, bro. You just join the server. You just click my community server and join. I can just drag
Yeah,
you
you
in.
don't even have to show your
You
camera,
don't even have to
Chris.
show your camera, dude. But
Yeah.
yeah. Talking. Well, I'll slowly transition to like Wong Fu. Me growing up, I always watched a bunch of Wong Fu films. Even though like I didn't really like wasn't really in any relationships or anything, but I just like, yo, these are pretty like. I mean, I wasn't like walking around. I was like, oh, dude, I watched Wong Fu. I was kind of like, I kept on the download. I was just like, dude, Strangers Again, first one, pretty solid. I was just like, wow, why am I watching this at 2 a.m.? Why? I don't know. I thought they're like, even though they do a lot of like sobby, sad stuff and like a lot of romantic stuff, um, I would say like I would say their comedy stuff is pretty solid too. But my question is like, did you like grow up watching Wong Fu too, or is just like, or like what was like, when did you choose to watch their YouTube videos and stuff?
I don't know like when, probably like if I'm right, like I don't really even know like when they started, but
Yeah.
probably middle, like when I was in middle school
Uh
or
huh.
high school, something like that. But yeah, I'd like watch their videos from time to time, and I still I'm a fan of like their lunch break videos on their second channel.
Yeah.
I just like to I like hearing them. It's almost like a podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like hearing them talk and stuff, but yeah, Strangers Again is one of their most iconic videos, and I did watch it.
I
I
didn't
did
I didn't
watch
see the
their
second one yet. I did not see that
No,
like
it's
the
not out yet.
it's not out
Wait,
yet,
is it
dude. I
out?
thought I like I keep seeing their posts, I like I see Kathy and Phil, they're just like advertising it on IG and I'm just like, "Oh, okay.
I'm
Well, I didn't watch it yet." Oh, but I
I'm
think it
pretty sure it's gonna come out in the summer. I don't think it's out yet.
Oh, they're just filming. I think they're probably just filming right now then.
Yeah, I think they're like kind of just hyping it up.
Okay. If you haven't watched that, please do because the continuation of it is coming out. I think this might be like a future version. It's gonna be kind of crazy actually, because I know like uh, Kathy is married. I mean, they never had like actual romantic relationship off stream, but like it's crazy how like Wong Fu is pretty old now. Uh,
Mm.
like the OGs of YouTube, they started a while back, and like the fact that like Phil is still there, I mean he has to be. He's like the one that created it, but it's just like crazy how like everyone like you watch is just like, oh, they're actually married in real life, so it's kind of crazy. I just find that's kind of crazy. Um, Yeah, but
Yeah.
besides talking about Wong Fu, I do watch their lunch break episodes too. I'm not gonna lie, they do have pretty interesting topics of like, oh, like got like the clickbait topics because like stuff like usually the relationship ones get me because I'm just like, oh, I'm kind of interested in this and that. But I don't know, I'm kind of going on a blank. But so okay,
Well,
I'm
to answer your
struggling.
question from earlier,
Uh huh.
I did grow up. I did grow up watching them, and honestly, I feel like because of them, I didn't notice the lack of Asians in the media. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like they played a huge role in that aspect in my like perception of media. I think I'd never really realized that was a problem until I was like older. You know, like college probably.
Yeah. I would agree. I was just like, oh, I mean, I grew up consuming a lot of YouTube instead of like actually like watch actual sitcoms and like movies and stuff. But then I think when I realized it was an issue is like when Crazy Rich Asians came out. I thought that was like a huge step. I didn't know how big it is, but it was like huge because what recently they released like Raya the Last Dragon.
Mhm.
Pretty
I
good.
watched that.
I heard it was a pretty good movie. No spoilers, no spoilers, please. But uh, I mean, if I'm pretty sure if it was like in theaters, it'll probably like pop off at the box office.
Oh
But
yeah, for sure.
I was just like, wow, they're actually creating like a Southeast Asian movie, which was pretty dope actually, because like my family's like originally from Vietnam, so it's like, oh, that's dope. That's huge.
Yeah.
There's like a
Yeah,
lot of
it's like
yeah.
it's really nice to see, I guess, like the media kind of going in that direction, like inclusivity,
Uh huh.
and representation. So it's nice. It's like something I didn't know the world needed, you know.
Yeah, I think this is like very important because I don't think necessarily it's for us. I think it's for like the next generation of people, right? In the future, it'll eventually be like normalized that like, oh, it's normal to see this person on screen. Not play just like a certain role they usually play. Like I know Asian Americans in media before like Crazy Rich Asians, like what the Asian male and stuff is often play as like the nerdy Asian guy, like he's like what, a CS major, stuff like that. The typical stereotype, and then the Asian woman is just like, oh, like something very exotic. It's just like high sex appeal or something like that. And I guess now it's like it's much different. Roles are more normalized. It's like, oh, it's just more of people just playing roles that are kind of normal. It's not like a huge thing. It's just like
Yeah.
it's not like a specific role that they fulfill. It's just like they could play the main character, the hero. Um, like the I think the new one of like the new Marvel movie or like the Shang-Chi one or like the one, what's that guy's name? I forgot his name.
Yeah, Simu
Yes.
Liu or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, Simu Liu. Like I was just like, damn, this guy came from Wong Fu, and now this guy is the star of a Marvel movie. Like that's so crazy. It just blows my mind how like one movie just broke like the floodgates for like just as an Asian like as a career path for an Asian American, they can actually become an actor and actress. Like one like just that just blows my mind. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I agree. It's pretty cool seeing him on like or waiting to see him on the big screen because
Hmm.
it's like I think we've only ever seen Asians in like smaller screens like YouTube
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So it's like it's a nice change of pace, like seeing people who like look like us on in theaters. So I'm excited for that movie.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I know like Marvel movies are just like they're just good,
Yeah.
just bangers.
Yeah. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the Marvel movies, so I'm super excited to like I'll probably see it in theaters. So I'm super
Yeah,
excited for that.
hopefully in theaters. Hopefully. So
Yeah.
I think there's like one thing we can like relate to each other. I'm from San Jose. You're from SoCal. As we know it, the demographic in those areas are like primarily like there's a lot of Asian people, right? So usually, the topic that comes up with that is usually a bubble, an Asian bubble. They say, usually it's a very nice bubble to stay in because you're just very familiar with the culture around and just people around it. But what's your opinion? What What's your opinion about an Asian bubble, to be honest, or just like a bubble in general? Because obviously, if you ever moved out to like the Midwest or even the East Coast, there's probably not really like a pocket of Asian people there. It's probably just a lot of white people or something. I don't know because I never been, but let's just say that.
I mean, I've actually like met other Asians from other like states,
Mm-hmm.
like my cousin from Georgia, and like I recently met this girl who's like Asian in New York,
Yeah.
and um, they actually have told me that there are like little pockets, like you said, of Asian people there, and like for some reason, like they find them and they kind of like they like stay in them. Like they kind of do have, they also have their own little Asian bubble, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like interesting, and it's very natural, I think, for people to like gravitate towards other people who like share the same culture.
Yeah.
But I also think it's important for people to kind of like explore and have an open mind and kind of um, take initiative to challenge the bubble, you know?
Yeah.
Like someday, like I, as much as I love my area and like my hometown,
Mm-hmm.
um, I really, I have this like desire to like move out and kind of experience life like elsewhere, like somewhere new. Not really sure where.
Uh huh.
I was hoping for New York, or I always dreamed of like moving to New York,
Yeah.
but I think now it's like honestly, I don't even think I would like fit in, or like I don't even think that would be my vibe because I'm like a little bit more laid back, a little bit more chill and like slow.
Yeah.
But in New York, you know, they're all like fast paced
Uh
and
huh.
like I feel like just me, like I wouldn't fit there like but I don't even have clothes that like, you know, would like be good enough for New York.
I think,
So
to be honest, I think you should just go try it out. If, I mean, like you said, challenging the bubble. I think it'll just
yeah.
challenge you as a person, right? You may not like fit in, but you'll probably learn how to accommodate. Eventually, probably be like them, whether or not. But if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But it's something new for sure. New York. Would you actually like ever move to like the Midwest or something?
Definitely not the Midwest.
Oh,
The Midwest is
okay.
not for me.
There's
No.
limits to this. Like I see.
For sure, for sure.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I am I'm totally down to like not live in an Asian area,
Uh huh.
but I need to be somewhere like near a city. Like I can't be in the middle of nowhere, you know?
Yeah.
Like yeah, I don't want to be in like Idaho or anything. I'm sorry like Idaho, but like there's just like I just if like anything big were to happen like a concert for like my favorite artist or something, they
Yeah.
would not like, you know, go in the middle of nowhere. Like I need to be kind of near a city if I wanted to like do stuff like that, which I do. So, yeah, I would like to be near like a larger city.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm totally down for like moving out of state.
Uh huh.
But I don't know about New York anymore just because it's like it's a little too expensive
Yeah.
and I don't want to kind of like break the bank and like kind of ruin all my savings just to like try New York.
Yeah.
I think I'd be satisfied just visiting. So, but yeah, maybe like somewhere like I have friends in Seattle. Seattle sounds kind of fun. Eventually, like I
Yeah.
kind of
Seattle sounds so dope, actually.
yeah, I visited before when I was younger,
Uh
and
huh.
I don't really remember like that much because I was like 8 or whatever.
Uh
But
huh.
from what I remember, it was pretty cool, and I feel like I would enjoy it there. So yeah, Seattle's like interesting to me. But eventually, I think like I would prefer to like settle down forever in like San Diego or something. That would be really nice.
San Diego. Okay.
That's like my dream, probably.
Okay. Seems pretty reasonable. San Diego, pretty nice, sunny beaches, close to the border. Seattle
Yeah,
is
that'd
great
be
as well.
fun.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So you'd be switching from like legit from like the northmost point of the U.S. On the west coast to the southmost point of the U.S.
I think you forgot about Alaska.
Oh yeah, I
But
forgot
yeah.
about Alaska. Well,
Yeah,
continental
I'm just
U.S.
kidding.
I would just say Wait, does that
Yeah.
count as continental U.S.? Okay, it does. Yeah. I mean, honestly, would you like move to Canada or something like Vancouver,
Dude,
Toronto?
I thought about that actually.
Uh huh.
But I think eventually I would not want to go through the trouble of um
Pushing snow around or what?
like no um what's that word? Emigrating, like leaving the
Oh, okay.
country. Because I because if my like life goal is to like settle down in San Diego, I don't want to have the trouble of like moving out of the country and then moving back in, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, but honestly, like, dude, I visited Vancouver when I was in high school with my family, and
Mhm.
I really liked it a lot. It was so pretty. It was super pretty. Like the air felt clean, and I just have a lot of like good memories there. Like, so honestly, if I had to, probably wouldn't mind
Uh,
like moving to Vancouver.
okay. I'd be down to like live in Vancouver for like a few years and stuff, but I
That'd
don't
be
know
cool.
if like retiring there. That's I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, same here. That's why I am reluctant to like move there.
Yeah. But you mean you can always go for like that dual citizenship stuff, but I don't know if it's easy to get or not. But I heard people do have that. They
Yeah, you remember Yui, right? My
yeah,
old roommate. She
yeah.
has dual citizenship. She's like Canadian and American.
She's Canadian.
But
I did not know that
yeah,
actually.
yeah, she's part Canadian. But I don't know if I would be eligible because I already have dual citizenship.
You do? Wait, what?
Yeah, I am also a citizen of Brazil.
I mean,
So,
I remember you telling me your mom was from Brazil or something. Um,
uh-huh.
but I
Yeah,
didn't know
so
you were from Brazil. Actually, I did not know that.
I'm not from there, but
Uh,
like because she's from there and she
uh-huh.
has citizenship, I was able to get citizenship through her. So yeah, I have dual citizenship. So I don't know if I could do like a triple. Like
That's true.
I feel like I'd have to give up one of them. And I don't want to give up either.
You don't want to give up Brazil? Like, are you ever gonna go to Brazil again? Do you still
Yeah,
need a
actually,
passport for Brazil if you're going there, or no?
yeah, I mean, the passport kind of like I mean, I guess I don't like need to, but it like helps because I'm a citizen.
Yeah,
And to have a Brazilian passport, it kind of helps me go through like customs a lot easier,
yeah.
and I can visit like Argentina and like neighboring countries like for free, like without a visa.
Oh, okay. Well, that brings up a very interesting topic. Actually, like we mentioned before, pockets of Asian people around the U.S., but um, for me, I find it like very foreign and very rare to me, like to find like Asian people in like countries or like in South America, continents like South America, like I would say Africa as well.
Hmm.
I just find it like very surprising because it's like, oh, well, it's kind of like I doesn't for me. I can't really connect the dots. But like, how did your mom get to like Brazil? It's just,
Well, her parents immigrated from China,
mm-hmm.
so we are Brazilian Chinese or Chinese Brazilian.
Yeah,
Um, but there are actually pockets of Asian people also in Brazil.
yeah,
Um, I think I think other than Japan or the United States, Brazil is the second place with the largest population. Oh no, it's the second largest population of Japanese people, I think.
oh, okay. Just gonna,
Something like that.
that's
So,
that's that's
yeah,
new. I did not know
interesting,
that.
right? I'm not really sure why, but yeah, my parents or my family like my ancestors, whatever, my like grandparents moved
Uh-huh.
from China to Brazil because of business, because like there was developing business, and supposedly at the time you could start a business, and it's like it would be like successful.
Yeah.
So that's what they did. They moved and they started some restaurants down in Brazil,
Yeah.
and yeah, and that's why my mom cooks well. because
Is-
she like worked in the kitchen, with her
okay.
at her parents' like shop. And yeah, there's actually pockets of Asian people in Brazil too,
Uh-huh.
because my mom has like a few friends here in the US
Yeah.
who are Asian but
Uh-huh.
are also Brazilian. And
Okay.
she met them in Brazil,
Uh-huh.
and a few of them happened to also immigrate to the US. So yeah, somehow she found her pocket of Asian people, and it
Da-
just kind of, I guess, proves to the theory that like people gravitate towards similar people.
That's so crazy actually. That's Do you like does she still speak Portuguese or no? Or like
Yeah, yeah, she's fluent, and
uh-huh.
it's funny. Like the other day, I asked her like, "What language do you speak in?"
Uh-huh.
Or like, "What language do you think in?"
Yeah.
Um, because she speaks probably about like five different languages,
Okay.
including like dialects.
Yeah.
So yeah, she knows like a few dialects of like Chinese,
Uh-huh.
and she speaks English and Portuguese. Um, but actually, she thinks in English, but she like counts in Chinese. And yeah, I don't know. It's like difficult
Dude,
because
it's
I
this
think
your
uh,
mom's Rosetta Stone or something. No.
pretty much, yeah. But yeah, she's fluent in Portuguese. I know a little bit. I can understand more than I speak, but yeah, I know how to sing "Happy Birthday" in Portuguese.
That's
Yeah,
pretty good. Well, we can just
yeah,
wait for your birthday to see how your birthday.
yeah. And I
Um.
know like some lullabies, but yeah, that's about it. Um, I never really learned Portuguese because my mom said when I was younger,
Uh huh.
like my parents tried to teach me too many languages, and then I ended up speaking, like I didn't speak until like way later than like the normal time, because like there's just like too many languages.
So, what was the first language you learned?
Probably, well, the first language that I learned that actually stuck around was probably Cantonese.
Yeah.
So I'm most fluent in Cantonese.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I can speak a little bit of Mandarin. Um, but yeah, that's about it. I'm like slowly starting to learn more Vietnamese because I'm like actively trying now that I'm older.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Also,
so I'm
because you went to Vietnam like last year or
yeah,
something.
yeah. But like I wasn't. I'm sad that I didn't like know more Vietnamese when I was there.
Uh huh.
I was able to get around fine. Like I could say bathroom and stuff like that,
Uh,
which was like
yeah, the
important.
most important stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, luckily a lot of people there spoke English, and they obviously could tell that I was a foreigner.
Yeah.
So they kind of defaulted to like English. But yeah, I'm starting to like try harder to like understand, pick up more like Vietnamese and Portuguese, um, just because I want to. It's like it's a nice skill to have. So
Yeah. Um, what came to mind when you said that for me is that honestly, I guess that's like the same as me too. Like, I guess growing up in the U.S. for me, like, when I was younger, I kind of just like kind of rejected like my culture in some sense. I didn't like fully reject it or anything, but it's just like growing up, I like, oh, my mom had food at home, but I wanted fast food. I wanted McDonald's, Mickey D's, the fries, the chicken nuggets, the cheeseburgers, whatever, you know. But I get pouty when I was younger. I was just like, oh, I want this, I want this. It's so good, it's better, Vietnamese food, it's so hard to eat. But going older and stuff, I don't know. It's like a strange phenomenon or something. I end up like just loving eating like my like Vietnamese food, like pho, like
yeah,
one stuff like that. I just like thoroughly enjoy it. And like stuff I never liked when I was younger. It's just like, oh, it just tastes so good in my mouth. Is it? I don't know, is it like my palate change or something? I don't know what it is, but I find that very interesting. And it's like, do you face that same like phenomenon and just like, oh, I wish I could have learned this when I was younger, could have stuck through with this and stuff as that as well, stuff like that as
Yeah.
well.
The food part, I don't really relate because I like loved Asian food
Uh
and
huh.
just like food in general just growing up. But I
Yeah.
think it also helped that because my mom is Brazilian and she like cooked Brazilian food and like she like knows how to cook pretty well, so she didn't always just cook straight up Chinese food or straight up Vietnamese food.
Yeah.
She's not even Vietnamese, but she knows how to cook Vietnamese food pretty
The
well.
beast.
So she kind of like um she was I guess had like a wide variety of like she fed me well, I would say, like very uh multiculturally well.
Uh huh.
So
It's like a
I never
balanced
yeah,
diet.
yeah, yeah. So
Every
I had
other
a good
day is a different culture. Oh wow.
yeah, yeah. And she also she's a huge foodie and she also loves enjoying like other cuisines and other cultures. So I think that helped me like growing up like appreciating food like of all cultures and just like not being ashamed of like Asian food. But I understand what you mean about like
Huh.
rejecting your culture
Yeah.
because I think um for a period of time in my life I like felt similarly where I kind of just wanted to be like when I was younger, I was really into like TV, like television. I didn't
Yeah.
have like siblings,
Mhm.
so I just watched TV all the time.
Yeah.
So I was like super fascinated by like TV and what was on TV was like white people, you know, and like
Yeah.
white culture.
Uh huh.
And so I kind of just wanted to be like the people on TV and I feel like that caused a kind of like rejection, like Asian rejection in myself,
Mhm.
which is like kind of which I think is kind of weird because I'm from a very Asian community. Like
Yeah.
90, maybe like 80% of the population in my hometown here is like Asian.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that I still had that rejection, even though I was surrounded by Asian people and like I grew up with people who like looked like me and like shared the same culture, you know?
Yeah.
And it's interesting how you feel the same way too,
Yeah.
because you grew up in a similar environment, right?
Yeah. For sure. I mean, I grew up. I went to like Viet Catholic school, doing all this and that. Even at times, because for me, like growing up, television, right? You just see white people. You don't see any Asian actors or stuff like that. As well, for me, I sometimes like I get labeled. For me, I for some reason people think I'm not Asian at times. They think I'm like or like not Vietnamese, just not Vietnamese. They either think I'm like Filipino or like for some reason they bring up Mexican. I get like a little offended because I'm just like really. I mean, I kind of understand Filipino, but like I don't know if I look Mexican. I just get a little offended, and then sometimes like in public, I think growing up, um, oftentimes when I start speaking Vietnamese, I get like roasted. You know, like
Oh,
oh I don't
like your
speak
accent?
yeah, I don't speak like the same
Oh,
dialect. I speak like a northern dialect, but just people are just like, dude, why is your Vietnamese like so trash? And I'm just like, I don't know, dude. This I was raised this way. How would I know?
yeah.
I was like, I can't answer that question for myself. Like, okay, maybe I struggled in Viet school. Maybe that's why it's trash. But like for me personally, I just like don't understand. Like, oh, there's nothing wrong. I don't find it wrong. I find it very useful. So like at times, even when I go into stores, I know there are Vietnamese people working in those stores, but I choose
Mm.
not to speak Vietnamese because I just kind of ashamed of just like speaking Vietnamese because I'm just afraid of either just getting just straight up roasted. It's like, what are you saying? I don't understand you. Like, please stop. Like stuff like that. So I just that's why like even till now, like sometimes I'm afraid, but I'm getting a little better.
Wait,
Like
your is your family from the northern Vietnam?
so like a quick TLDR about my family is that like my grandparents are from the north on my
Uh-huh.
dad's side, but then like
Oh, I
they
see.
like their children was all born in the south, but like they got since my grandparents were northern, they had the northern dialect. They just grew up with like a northern dialect. But my mom is like from she looks South Vietnamese, but like closer to the mid area, and she had a southern accent, but like predominantly like I don't know, I just grew up listening to like a northern accent more, so then I
Mm.
ended up just taking that. Like certain words, it's like I say
Yeah.
like meat. It's like people say how is it meat? So like there's tit and there's
Uh,
teat. I say
uh,
teat. People say
I
like
see.
it's weird. Like it's the same word,
Yeah.
but so like instead of tit, I said
Mm.
teat. So it's just like
I see.
it's weird. It's like it throws people off. So I can't understand why, because I think most people that migrated from the war, it's mostly Southern
Yeah.
Vietnamese people. So
Yeah.
it kind of makes sense why
Yeah.
people are just like
Most
thrown off.
because most like Vietnamese Americans are like refugees
Yeah.
from like yeah, and like obviously from the South. And you know what's funny?
Uh huh.
I had this like coworker while I was interning. We kind of like carpooled together,
Yeah.
and he was from North Vietnam, and I like told him how I was like how my dad's like from South Vietnam, and then I tried to like speak a little bit of Vietnamese to him,
Uh huh.
and then he told me I had a Southern accent, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes sense, but I didn't know that like I had a Southern accent like that, you know, in a
Yeah.
language that I don't even like speak. So I thought that was really funny.
I
But
think it's dependent on like because what you listened growing up, right? My dad was like he speak in the northern dialect. I think my mom did as well, but she's not like she didn't grow up. She just hung out with my dad too much, I guess. And then it just happened, and then I just like, oh,
yeah,
I just speak in this dialect, and I was like, I never knew I was speaking Vietnamese wrong. I just speak
I mean, I
differently,
don't
right?
think it's wrong.
Yeah.
It's not wrong. It's just like not the norm here.
Uh huh. That's true.
So, yeah. Yeah, but I feel similarly about like my Cantonese, like how you
Hmm.
said you're like kind of shy to like speak to like other people like in your little Vietnamese community.
Yeah.
I like yeah, I don't speak Cantonese when I'm like at 99 Ranch or like at a local like store, you know? Like
Yeah.
I know like they speak Cantonese and I can speak Cantonese,
It's
but
like
I'm
you
not risky with
understand them. And it's just like, oh, I want to say it, but just no.
yeah. Yeah, I really and like most people kind of like default to English when they like see like a younger person anyway.
Yeah.
So usually they'll just default to English for me, but if if I if I know that they don't speak English that well, then I usually speak Cantonese to them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's the same for me as well.
Yeah.
I, I hopefully, like, I don't know, like, if I grow older, I have kids and stuff, like, I don't know whether or not, like I should like force them into Viet school or something like that. Cause like I know it's like a second generation. Obviously, like throughout like your generations, they're eventually gonna lose like a cultural aspect because they're just gonna become like they're still Asian American because of like their blood, but it's just not like the culture wise. It's like oh well
Yeah.
you're not great at Vietnamese, like it's kind of hard to teach the Vietnamese if you're not great at Vietnamese either. So it's just like
Yeah.
you kind of lose it down the line, and I kind of understand that.
Yeah, it's kind of sad,
Uh huh.
but honestly, I've like thought about it and
Hmm.
I think I would kind of try to keep the culture alive as much as possible. Um, I just think it's important and I think like it's really fun and like
Yeah.
cool to have a different culture, you know,
Yeah.
to just be a part of like multiple cultures. I think is really, really special. So, yeah, I would kind of want to like keep it alive.
That's for sure. Um.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think that's gonna conclude for our segment of typical tangents. Thanks for coming on to the show once again, Vivian. Means a lot. I hope I hope other people like actually join. But next time for sure. I would
Yeah.
love to have you back. Maybe not next week. Maybe in the future for sure. But you got any like last words about any topics or maybe shout outs to anyone? I don't know. Just go ahead and just throw it all out there.
Shout out to Chris and Joseph,
Uh huh.
even though they couldn't be here today. But
Yeah.
hopefully one day the gang can all get back together. That
Uh,
would be super fun.
yeah.
And we can just like chat and have fun here. It was fun. Thanks for having me, John.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I'm gonna go end the stream real quick. Once again, thanks for joining this segment of Typical Tangents. We talk about Asian Americans, basically stuff about the Asian American identity, um, race, and even like Asian Americans in like other sectors that you wouldn't expect, and your own personal experiences as well. Means a lot. Very enlightening as well as very interesting to hear. So once again, thank you very much, Vivian. Great job today. I honestly I enjoyed this segment. I mean, I feel like I enjoy every week's segment, but I just find like new things to talk about. Honestly, did not. I was like, damn, I don't know if I'm gonna get to an hour of talking, but I did it. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it
See,
was
people
pretty
really
fun.
enjoy this segment.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So
good.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
let me know. Like, let me know how the like feedback is. I couldn't see like the comments or anything, so
yeah.
let me know how
I'll
what people think of
post.
it.
I'll post. Usually I post like the whole segment like unedited, but I haven't been doing that because I'm kind of lazy. So I just like I'm like behind like two or three. I haven't posted the second episode, the third episode, and the fourth episode unedited yet, but I will be posting that hopefully by tomorrow. So once again, thanks for showing up. Hopefully we could get Chris and Joseph on. It would be pretty dope. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave this call. I'm gonna go end my stream. Once again, thanks for just being a great person. Have a nice
Oh,
day. Have a
thanks.
nice evening. Have a nice weekend.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Well.